Memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction joining us from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Dick Morris, author of the upcoming book, 2010, Take Back America, which will be out next week. All right, so what do you think is the next target of the Obama administration? They can go a lot of places. Where will they go?
The financial industry bill. There's a bill that has passed the House that is pending in the Senate. It's been redesigned by Chris Dodd. That gives the Secretary of the Treasury the power to take over any financial institution he wants if he believes it's too big to fail and that it's in danger of being insolvent. And when he takes it over, he can fire the management, fire the board, sell off the assets, and wipe out the equity value. I think that will be Obama's next step.
What about the educational thing that's coming up next week, whereby the federal government takes over college loans from the private sector? What do you think's behind that?
Well, that's one where I actually agree with Obama. I think that there is no reason for Sallie Mae or these private lenders to be making student loans. The government can do it for almost a full point cheaper, and we have to guarantee the loans as taxpayers anyway. We tell Sallie Mae, if the kid defaults, we'll pay 90% of the money, and then you can go after the kid and keep all the money you get. It's a stupid deal, and I think that Obama's right about that.
But doesn't it give the power? Doesn't it give the federal government the power to distribute the loan money any way it wants?
Yeah, but I think they've done it well, and I think they would do it well. But I think that the point is, if you look at this in broad strokes, Bill, he's more or less moved now to take over the health industry. The next move there will be to pass a public option, regulate the insurance companies, let the insurance companies go broke, and have a single payer. Then he's going to go after the financial industry with the bill I just talked about. Then he's going to try to pass cap and trade to go after the manufacturing and the utility companies. And by the time you finish that, you will effectively have government control over our whole economy.
But that can't happen if the Democrats lose in November, which is widely projected to happen.
That's right. I think the Republican strategy on health care in particular will be right now block the Medicare cuts. Don't let them go through, block them. Then I think they'll work on defeating the Democrats and taking over the House, but they'll still only have a simple majority. They can't repeal the bill outright because Obama would veto it, but I think they will zero fund it. I think they'll use their majorities to wipe out the appropriations. Then they'll try to beat Obama, and then they'll actually repeal the bill. So I think they're going to restore, then the Medicaid cuts, then they're going to defeat the Democrats, then they're going to defund the legislation, and then they're going to try to repeal it.
How seriously do you take the states that are challenging Obamacare as being unconstitutional?
Oh, I think they've got a great case. The only real reason that taxes are higher in the North than in the South, the overwhelming reason, is that the South has a much more restrictive Medicaid program. They basically cover the elderly and very few of the poor, whereas the North has a very generous one. And this bill requires the South to adopt the North's standards, but doesn't provide the money. After the first year, the southern states have to do it. I had a conversation once with the governor of Alabama, a great guy named Bob Riley. He's probably watching tonight. And he said what Obama's trying to do is to equalize the North and the South, so the South no longer has a competitive advantage. By card check, he wants it unionized. By this Medicare bill, he wants the taxes higher. And by cap and trade, he wants the environmental regulations tougher. So that basically there's no reason for a business ever to move to the South. And I think that's a good perspective on this. And I think that's why the states are suing, and that's why I think they're going to win. And now, I think they'll open up a whole new field of 10th Amendment law about unfunded federal mandates.
Last question, and I only have less than a minute. Some of the polls show that the president got a bump in approval rating and from the health care. Do you expect him to now rise in the polls?
Yeah, but all the increases among Democrats, Republicans and independents are the same. But he went from 53% approval among Democrats to 67% because he finally delivered on health care. I expect that over the course of the next number of months, As the job situation does not improve, those ratings will begin to drop among Democrats. And then he's dropped among everyone else, and I think he's headed below 40.
All right. Dick Morris, everybody. His book will be out next week, 2010, Take Back America.